this is only possible in Russia. I just want to share with you my personal story that happened with my father. So basically, as soon as this war started and sanctions are being implemented against Russia, it made him lose a lot of money. But the worst part about it is that according to all the rules of economics and finance, he was supposed to make money, but because of this perfect storm of worst case scenarios, or I have no idea how else to call it, it made him lose money. And right now I will explain it as easy as possible what exactly happened, so that in case something similar happens in your country or with you personally, you can avoid it, and this short video will save you definitely thousands of dollars. And no, of course, I'm not gonna sell you anything or anything like this is just my honest advice to you. The whole concept is based around investing and the idea of capital gains taxes, and if you have no idea what I just said, don't worry, I'll explain it as easy as I can. So, me and my father have been investing on the stock market for a decent amount of time, and so far it's been pretty good and easy. But since my father invests from Russia, he spends Russian rubles to buy US dollar stocks. So long story short, first of all, he deposits Russian currency into his brokerage account, then he converts them into US dollars, and then he uses these dollars to buy the stocks. And this is the first very important detail of this story, so I please ask you keep this in mind. So he has been investing for a pretty long time before even the war started, and as soon as sanctions started being implemented against Russia, and especially against the financial sector of Russia, he, just like any other safe investors, decided to play it safe and just withdraw his money. And it was not about this fear that the markets can crash, no, it was more about the possibility that his brokerage can block his account and basically freeze all the money. And at that time already, somewhere in February, the stock market was already showing the first signs of crashing, and that's why some of my father's investments were already unprofitable. So let's say he bought some ABC shares at $100 each, just to make math simple, and at the time of sale, the price was already $80 per share, which basically means he lost $20 on each share of ABC that he had. And normally that would be just it. You just take a loss, don't pay taxes because you didn't make any money, and you just sit on your cash for better times. And yes, the second very important detail about this story is that whenever you sell unprofitable shares, you don't need to pay taxes. You only need to pay taxes whenever you sell higher for whatever you bought it for. You only need to pay taxes on your investments when this so-called capital gains event happens. But just because of this perfect storm of worst case scenarios that not a single person was able to predict, the opposite, completely opposite thing happened. And before we continue, and I hope that you're already intrigued, if you like this, me opening up with you just like this, in addition to my daily news summaries, just feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. We're trying to build an incredibly awesome community here, and every single one of you is welcome, so thanks so much for this, and let's continue. So, back to my father. He sold his unprofitable shares, took a very big L, and exhaled with so much sadness because he's about to miss this opportunity to buy the dip. Until one day he wakes up in the morning, opens his email inbox, and finds this very strange email that says, "Dear Mr. This and This, you owe us taxes on these investments." To say that my father was shocked is basically to say nothing. He even wore his glasses, refreshed the page, called my mom to see if it's anything different, but no, the content of the email was still the same. Which is basically once again, "Dear such and such, you owe us a couple of $1,000s in taxes on this trade that you made recently." My father's heart was beating so fast, his emotions was like the combination of complete misunderstanding and rage as he picks up the phone and calls the customer support of this bank. An hour later, listening to low quality jazz music, the representative picks up the phone and the long conversation starts, which I'm just gonna summarize it for you. Basically, my father's claim was a perfectly normal and reasonable claim. The claim that you would never have to do anywhere else in the world unless you're in Russia. His exact question was that why do I need to pay taxes on investment that made me lose money? How is it even possible to pay taxes on a loss? And the answer of the representative was currency revaluation. Yep, that's basically it. Currency revaluation. And if you're just like me and my father confused what this means, I'll just briefly and simply explain it. At the time when my father just originally bought these ABC shares, the exchange rate between Russian ruble and US dollar was 75 rubles for $1, which basically means that $100 ABC share costed him 7,500 rubles. But at the time of the sale, when the sanctions just started to hit Russian economy, the exchange rate, if you remember, was 130 rubles for just $1. $1. So whenever he sold his ABC shares at a loss at $80 each, it was the equivalent of him receiving 10,400 rubles for each share. And I think you already see where I'm going with this. Now stay with me. Originally he bought ABC shares for $100 and later he sold them for $80, which is a $20 loss. But from Russian currency perspective, he bought ABC shares for 7,500 rubles each and then he sold for 10,400 rubles each. And even though his brokerage account is in US dollars, the only way for him to withdraw money is in Russian rubles, which basically means that he lost in US dollars, but he profited in Russian rubles. And because he profited in Russian rubles, this is why he had to pay taxes on this excessive profit that he made. This story is just the perfect example that you cannot be prepared for anything and there is always something new that you can learn. Even me personally, who is working in the finance or economics related field for the last 9 years, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. And it is very good if you can learn from your own mistakes, but it is twice better if you can learn from the mistakes of the others. Thanks so much and see you tomorrow.